Did you know that washing certain vegetables, the same ones you've trusted for years, could actually make them more dangerous, especially for older adults? It may sound surprising, even unbelievable. For decades, we've been told to wash our vegetables thoroughly and eat plenty of them to stay healthy. But the truth is, for seniors over 60, your body doesn't process things the way it used to. That includes how your kidneys filter toxins, how your immune system responds, and how your gut handles certain plant compounds. In this article, I'm not just speaking as someone who's read a few studies. I'm sharing this as a person who has walked through 90 years of life, seen countless health trends come and go, and more importantly, seen how our bodies change with age. So, let's go straight to the heart of the matter. Here are 8 vegetables that may be silently harming your health when you wash and eat them, especially if you're over 60. 1. Spinach, the kidney stone creator. Spinach has long been regarded as a symbol of strength and vitality. Generations grew up believing it was one of the healthiest vegetables on the planet. For decades, many of us added handfuls of fresh spinach into our salads or morning smoothies without a second thought. But as we grow older, the story changes, and so should our approach. What most seniors don't realize is that spinach, though rich in nutrients, is also extremely high in oxalates. These naturally occurring compounds bind to calcium in your body and can form sharp crystals that settle in your kidneys. Over time, these crystals develop into kidney stones, painful, often debilitating, and dangerously easy to overlook until it's too late. And here's the most sobering part. Rinsing or washing spinach doesn't remove oxalates. That danger remains even after the leaves look clean and fresh on your plate. The older we get, the more vulnerable our kidneys become. Years of processing everything we've eaten, every pill we've taken, every drop of fluid we've consumed, they've worked hard for us. And now they're more fragile than ever. Introducing high oxalate foods like raw spinach only adds strain, increasing the chance of painful complications that can severely limit your quality of life. Even if you've never had kidney stones before, don't be too quick to assume you're in the clear. Oxalate buildup is slow and silent. You may experience subtle warning signs, lower back discomfort, a sharp cramp that won't go away, fatigue that doesn't make sense. By the time a stone forms, you're not just in pain, you're losing peace of mind. The truth is, spinach isn't the innocent superfood it's made out to be, especially not when it's raw, unbalanced, and consumed without understanding the risk. But if a leafy green can do that much damage, imagine what could be hiding in other so-called healthy vegetables. What if the next one on your plate was quietly draining your energy day after day? Let's take a closer look. 2. Kale, the thyroid saboteur. Kale has earned a reputation as one of the world's healthiest vegetables. For years, doctors, dietitians, and food marketers alike have praised its dense nutrients, calling it a superfood capable of transforming your health. It's easy to believe in its power, especially when you're doing your best to eat well and stay strong in your later years. But as we age, our bodies become more sensitive, more selective, and more reactive to the foods we once welcomed without question. Kale, for all its benefits, may not be as harmless as it seems. What many seniors don't realize is that kale contains natural compounds called goitrogens. These compounds quietly interfere with your thyroid's ability to absorb iodine, a mineral essential for hormone production and metabolic balance. Over time, this disruption can lead to or worsen hypothyroidism, a condition that often hides behind symptoms we might mistakenly blame on age itself: slow weight gain, chronic fatigue, depression, and mental fog. Washing kale doesn't remove goitrogens. It looks clean, even tastes fresh, but it can still be working against you internally. For older adults whose thyroid function may already be declining, this added pressure can create a silent imbalance, one that creeps in gradually, draining your energy, dimming your mood, and slowing your body's natural rhythm. And the worst part, most people never suspect the leafy green they were told to trust. This doesn't mean kale must be feared, but it does mean that wisdom, real, lived in wisdom, calls us to pause, to question, and to prepare our food in ways that truly serve us in this stage of life. Light cooking can reduce the goitrogenic effect, but overloading your diet with raw kale day after day might slowly chip away at your health in ways you won't feel until the damage is done. And if something as celebrated as kale can quietly sabotage your thyroid, what happens when another common vegetable sets its sights on your joints, causing pain and stiffness you never saw coming? Let's keep going. You need to know what could be next. 3. Bell peppers, joint pain in disguise. Bell peppers are vibrant, sweet, and beautifully appealing. They sit on countless dinner plates across the country, adding color to salads, flavor to stir fries, and a sense of freshness to almost any dish. For years, many have considered them a symbol of healthy eating. But for those of us in our 60s and beyond, what looks cheerful and harmless on the outside may be causing damage beneath the surface, especially in the places where it hurts the most, your joints. Bell peppers belong to the nightshade family, a group of vegetables that naturally contain a chemical compound called solanine. In young, healthy bodies, solanine is usually processed without issue. But in aging bodies, particularly those already dealing with arthritis, gout, or joint stiffness, solanine can act like fuel to a fire. It quietly increases inflammation, causing swelling, stiffness, and deep, aching pain. If you've ever noticed your knees, fingers, or lower back aching a day after eating peppers, it's not your imagination. Your body may be trying to speak, and it's time to start listening. What makes it worse is that the tough outer skin of bell peppers is notoriously difficult to digest, especially as your gut slows with age. Washing them does nothing to soften their impact. And when eaten raw, that indigestible skin can linger in the digestive tract, triggering bloating, discomfort, or reflux. These aren't just minor annoyances, they're signs that your body may be struggling to process something it no longer welcomes easily. Bell peppers might not be dangerous for everyone, but for many seniors, they quietly aggravate the very conditions we work so hard to manage. Recognizing this isn't about fear. It's about clarity and choosing comfort over tradition when tradition no longer serves us. Now, if one colorful vegetable can inflame your joints, imagine what can happen when another soaks up toxic metals from its environment and brings them straight to your plate. The next vegetable might look earthy and wholesome, but its hidden risks run deeper than you'd expect. 4. Mushrooms, the toxic sponge. At first glance, mushrooms seem humble, even healing. They grow quietly from the earth, they've been part of traditional diets for centuries, and they're often praised for their immune-boosting qualities. Many seniors turn to them believing they're doing something good for their bodies, but behind their earthy flavor lies a truth that too few people talk about. Mushrooms are natural sponges, and what they absorb can hurt you far more than help you. Unlike other vegetables, mushrooms don't just take in water and nutrients. They absorb everything from the environment they grow in, including heavy metals, pesticides, and industrial pollutants found in soil and air. These toxins don't sit on the surface where a rinse under the faucet can remove them. They're pulled deep into the mushroom's flesh where washing can't reach. That means what ends up on your plate could be carrying silent threats your body, especially an aging body, struggles to eliminate. As we age, our liver and kidneys don't detoxify the way they used to. Toxins that might have passed through us in our younger years can now linger longer, building up over time. For seniors with pre-existing kidney strain or liver sensitivity, this accumulation can slowly drain energy, impair cognitive clarity, or contribute to subtle symptoms we often dismiss as just getting old. But sometimes it's not age, it's exposure. Even store-bought mushrooms aren't immune. If they were grown in poor conditions or near contaminated soil, they may be carrying a toxic burden. And that's not the only concern. Certain compounds in raw mushrooms, such as agaritine, have been studied for their potential cancer risks when consumed over time. Cooking helps, yes, but only if we know to do it, and not everyone does. So if a quiet, innocent mushroom can carry the weight of environmental toxins straight into your system, what happens when the next vegetable on your plate begins to fight your digestion from the inside out? You'll want to pay close attention to what's coming. 5. Cabbage, the silent digestion wrecker. Cabbage is one of those vegetables that's woven into the fabric of traditional cooking. Whether in stews, slaws, or served steamed on a quiet dinner table, it's often seen as wholesome, healing, and dependable. Many older adults grew up eating cabbage with the belief that it was simple, natural, and good for the body. And in many ways, it is. But for seniors whose digestive systems have slowed and become more sensitive, cabbage can quietly turn from friend to foe. As we age, our ability to break down certain fibers and sugars diminishes. Cabbage contains a complex sugar called raffinose, which ferments in the gut and produces gas. For an older adult with a slower digestive tract or reduced enzyme production, this can lead to persistent bloating, cramping, and even acid reflux. The discomfort isn't just physical. It can steal your appetite, interrupt your sleep, and leave you feeling fatigued or out of sorts without knowing why. Washing cabbage may remove dirt or surface chemicals, but it does nothing to lessen the internal compounds that cause digestive turmoil. And many seniors eat cabbage raw in salads or slaws, unaware that cooking could have softened its harsh effects. Instead, they live with the gas, the fullness, the discomfort, assuming it's just part of growing old, but it doesn't have to be. Even more concerning, cabbage contains goitrogens, compounds that can interfere with thyroid function. For seniors already struggling with energy, metabolism, or mental clarity, regular raw cabbage consumption could be working against your body's ability to regulate itself. These aren't small inconveniences, they are signals, warnings, that something we once tolerated no longer serves us the same way. Listening to those signals is one of the greatest forms of self-respect in later life. And if something as familiar as cabbage can upset your body so quietly, what happens when the next vegetable you eat stirs up pain in your joints and bones from the inside out? What you're about to read may change the way you think about comfort food forever. 6. Eggplant, the inflammation trigger. Eggplant, with its rich purple skin and hearty texture, often finds its place in comforting dishes passed down through generations. For many seniors, it represents tradition, warmth, and the kind of home-cooked meals that bring families together. But while eggplant may feel familiar and nourishing, it holds a hidden danger that's especially important to recognize as we age, one that quietly stirs up inflammation in the body, particularly in the joints. Eggplant belongs to the nightshade family, a group of vegetables that contain solanine, a natural compound that can worsen inflammation in sensitive individuals. As the body gets older, its response to certain foods changes. The immune system becomes less forgiving, and the body's tolerance for irritating compounds drops. For seniors living with arthritis, gout, or general joint stiffness, eggplant can act like a slow-burning fuel, deepening the aches that never quite go away, and turning mild discomfort into chronic pain. What makes eggplant even more problematic is its tough skin and numerous tiny seeds, both of which can be hard to digest. Seniors who suffer from acid reflux, IBS, or sluggish digestion may find themselves feeling bloated, uneasy, or fatigued after a meal that includes eggplant, even if it was carefully prepared. Washing does nothing to reduce its inflammatory compounds. It may appear clean on the surface, but the real concern lies deep within its flesh. These effects are often brushed off as aging until you remove the eggplant from your diet and notice the difference. Less stiffness, clearer mornings, fewer restless nights. It's a reminder that sometimes the food we trust most can be the one quietly betraying us from within. But if inflammation is hiding in something as innocent as a vegetable, what happens when another everyday favorite starts spiking your blood sugar and overworking your kidneys in silence? The next vegetable on the list might surprise you. It's likely one you've enjoyed your whole life. 7. Potatoes, a blood sugar nightmare. Potatoes have long been a staple of American comfort. Mashed, baked, roasted, or fried, they bring back memories of holiday dinners, backyard cookouts, and warm kitchen tables. For many of us, they're more than just food. They're part of the rhythm of life. But as we age, the foods we once welcomed without question can quietly begin to betray us. Potatoes, beloved as they are, can become one of the most dangerous items on the plate for older adults, especially for those living with diabetes, heart disease, or metabolic concerns. The danger lies in their high glycemic index, which means potatoes quickly convert into sugar in the bloodstream. This sudden spike is especially harsh on an aging body. Seniors often have slower metabolism, reduced insulin sensitivity, and a harder time regulating blood sugar levels. That comforting bowl of mashed potatoes may feel familiar, but beneath the warmth, it may be fueling fatigue, inflammation, and silent damage to the kidneys and nerves. Fried potatoes, like chips or French fries, introduce an even greater risk. Not only do they spike blood sugar, but they also form harmful compounds like acrylamides during high heat cooking. These compounds have been linked to increased inflammation, accelerated aging, and even cancer risks. And unfortunately, no amount of rinsing, scrubbing, or peeling can erase these risks once they've been created in the cooking process. Even baked potatoes, when eaten without their fiber-rich skin or in large portions, can send blood sugar soaring and leave you feeling drained shortly after. Over time, the effects add up: weight gain, chronic fatigue, joint pain, and increased vulnerability to other diseases that tend to surface later in life. What makes potatoes so dangerous is their subtlety. They don't hurt immediately, and they rarely cause alarm. But they quietly wear down your body's ability to heal, manage energy, and stay resilient. And if a vegetable as familiar as the potato can silently overload your system, what happens when the next so-called superfood turns out to be a hidden threat to your kidneys and bones? The next one may surprise you. It's praised in every health magazine, but it carries a sharp edge you'll want to see clearly. 8. Corn, the hidden sugar spike. Corn is woven into the fabric of American life. From buttery corn on the cob at summer cookouts to hearty cornbread at family gatherings, it's been on our plates for as long as we can remember. It feels wholesome, familiar, and safe. But what many seniors don't realize is that corn, despite its natural appearance, can quietly work against the aging body in ways that are both subtle and serious. At its core, corn is a starch, and one that quickly converts into sugar after it's eaten. For those over 60 whose insulin sensitivity may have decreased and whose blood sugar regulation has become more fragile, corn can cause sharp spikes that leave you drained, hungry, and inflamed. These rapid blood sugar rises aren't just uncomfortable. They can gradually damage the kidneys, burden the heart, and accelerate cognitive decline. And this isn't just about sweet corn. It's also about corn-based products, chips, tortillas, cereals, and even corn syrup hidden in packaged foods. Washing corn before cooking might remove a bit of surface residue, but it does nothing to reduce its high glycemic impact or its effect on your metabolism. Even worse, much of the corn grown today is genetically modified and heavily treated with pesticides. These chemicals may linger in the kernels and contribute to inflammation, digestive problems, and hormonal imbalances, particularly in older adults with slower detoxification systems. There's also the issue of digestion. Corn contains cellulose, a type of fiber the human body cannot fully break down. For seniors with sensitive guts or slowed digestion, this can lead to bloating, gas, and discomfort that disrupts both meals and sleep. Corn doesn't announce itself as a threat. It hides behind sweetness and tradition, but with age comes the wisdom to see beyond habit and make choices that truly serve our health. And if corn, a symbol of comfort, can leave your body struggling in silence, what happens when a leafy green hailed as a superfood begins quietly burdening your kidneys and bones? What comes next may change the way you view even your healthiest meals. 9. What should you do now? At this stage of life, your choices carry more weight, not just because of age, but because of experience. You've lived long enough to know that health isn't just about adding the right foods to your plate. It's about removing the wrong ones, even when they're dressed in the disguise of tradition, comfort, or popular advice. The vegetables we discussed may not be inherently evil, but for the aging body, they can become silent burdens, adding to inflammation, digestive distress, kidney strain, and energy loss when we least expect it. So, what should you do now? Begin by listening, not just to the experts, but to your body. Notice how you feel after meals. Track the foods that leave you tired, bloated, or aching. This awareness is your greatest ally. You don't have to eliminate every vegetable mentioned, but you must prepare them differently, eat them more mindfully, and honor the changing needs of your body with every bite. Light cooking, moderation, and thoughtful pairing with other foods can soften their impact and preserve your well-being. You've earned the right to live this chapter of life with clarity, strength, and ease. Making small but wise adjustments to your diet isn't about giving things up. It's about giving your body the support it truly needs now. And in that quiet shift, you may rediscover something even more powerful than food itself: the feeling of balance, peace, and renewed vitality. The wisdom of choosing well. Growing older is not a decline. It is a return to clarity, a return to listening to the body, honoring what it tells you, and choosing peace over pressure in the smallest, most ordinary moments. Food, once taken for granted, becomes something more sacred. It can heal or it can harm. And too often, what we've been told is healthy may no longer be right for a body that has worked hard for decades and now needs a different kind of care. The truth is, you don't need to fear vegetables or turn your back on the foods you once loved, but you do need to approach them with greater wisdom, your wisdom. The wisdom that comes from living, from hurting, from healing, and from knowing that health is not just the absence of disease, but the quiet strength to feel good each day, to move without pain, to rest deeply, and to live with ease. You are not here to simply survive. You are here to thrive in whatever way that means for you. So let your food reflect that intention. Choose what nourishes, not just what fills. Prepare meals with purpose. And remember, it's never too late to feel better, think clearer, or live lighter. Sometimes the greatest transformation begins not with a medicine or a diagnosis, but with a single choice at the dinner table, made with knowledge, made with care, and made with love for the life you still have ahead. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.